Take a look at our starting lineups tonight, presented by Capital One. Emily Ryan, the veteran point guard, gets the start. Bellinger is the best three-point shooter for head coach Bill Finley. Audie Crooks and Addie Brown, incredible first-year players for the Cyclones out of the Big 12. Cameron Brink, all you need to know is this will be her final game at Maples, one of the top players in Pac-12 basketball history, and an emerging superstar. Kiki Iriafen leads the charge in the front court to try to slow down Audie Crooks tonight in front of this capacity crowd. Emotions running high for the Pac-12 Player of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, in the final season of the Pac-12 for the Stanford Cardinal. Hall of Fame head coach Tara Vanderveer, Bill Finley, two of the longest tenured basketball coaches on the planet, going toe-to-toe for the first time since 2009 tonight. They're on their feet. Stanford in the home whites. Iowa State, the red and gold, and underway at Maples. And the Cardinal control the opening tip.
You know, you're going to be looking at a lot of interior basketball today. You'd like some post play, some great action down low. This is what you're going to get. Iriafen from Stanford, who's just elevated her skill set, continues to do so. Already two on the board.
Right in front of Crooks. And the question for the Cyclones, how can Crooks get her hands on the basketball against Cameron Brink? And that's how. The turnaround. Off the back iron. Iriafen the rebound.
Literally what we saw today at shoot-around from Stanford. Their scout is they're going to play behind Crooks, try to force her over her right shoulder. And those fadeaway shots, that's exactly what you want. You got to shoot over a 6'4" extended Cameron Brink. Once again, the best shot blocker in the country.
Nobody's blocked more shots than 22 in white this season. 3.5 per game. She had 4 in the first 3 quarters on Friday night against Norfolk State. Iowa State drops back in a 2-3 zone. Lopolo for 3. Crooks clears.
And again, that is what you'll see from Iowa State. A lot of different looks defensively. You could see man zone, well, triangle in 2. Just keep your eyes open. This defense is going to shift. You got to do whatever you can.
My eyes are open, and it's off to a good start for Stanford. Tapped away by Brink, out of bounds. Last touch by Crooks.
And head coach Bill Finley just looked over to Addie Brown and said, you got to get some height on that. The same pass that worked against Maryland, that's not going to work here tonight. You got way more height. And Cameron Brink able to get her hands on that one.
Hannah Jump also starting in her final game at Maples. The senior, the all-time leading three-point shooter in Stanford history. In and out from deep. Brown controls the board, and here comes Emily Ryan.
Ryan played a masterful game with 14 assists the other day, and she can give you some scoring as well. And already some good solid defense here from the Cardinal. Cameron Brink giving you emotion, getting on the floor. And this is what you get. It's not just the leadership. I mean, she loves help side defense, and there's not many people you can say that about. But look at her just, yeah, getting the deflection and noticing it was off the leg of Emily Ryan.
2-0 our score. Lopolo with a pump fake. Iriafen from the same spot moments ago. She's got both Cardinal buckets.
That can be her spot all night long if she wants it. A beautiful touch, and the more you can bring Crooks outside of the paint, well, you really start to open things up. Cameron Brink can move well without the basketball. Here's the double.
Turnovers on 3 consecutive possessions for the Cyclones. Iriafen slipped, appears to be okay. And Iowa State racing back down to the other end of the court. Iriafen stepped out.
And Baylor with a 3-point win.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Maples Pavilion. Here on this Sunday evening, Iowa State and Stanford meeting for the first time in 15 years, and the Cardinal off to a great start. Their final home game of the season, and Bellinger connects for the first basket of the night for the Cyclones.
She is their big-time three-point shooter. When they need a bucket, when they need that three, that's who they look for. She gets them on the board. It's got to be a sigh of relief for the Cyclones. starting this game a little tight.
Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott, so glad you could join us tonight. Cardinal upset in this same game a year ago at the hands of Ole Miss. Iriafen was fouled on the way up. She's got all 4 Stanford points to start. Take a look at tonight's most reliable player, brought to you by Xfinity. Audie Crooks stole the show literally on Friday night with a 40-piece and 12 rebounds. She only missed 2 shots and she attempted 20.
It was a performance for the ages. And not only that, it was the comeback from 20 points down. It was the story that we found out, you know, that she had lost her father when she was 16. Always says a prayer to him before the game to just make sure that she feels settled in her best place spiritually. And just what an unbelievably composed performance for somebody's debut in the NCAA tournament.
You attempt 20 shots and you make 18. Chances are a lot of those attempts were close to the bucket. You take a look at the shot chart from Friday night and the comeback against Maryland, and all those green indicators tell you that those were makes. 18 out of 20. I'm no mathematician, about 90%.
I'll take your word for it. It was pretty darn good. A lot of buzz around the country for sure.
Yeah, the social media buzz was certainly out there. Leah Boston tweeted how impressed she was with Audie Crooks.
She even got the Iowa State Police Department.
That's right.
Tweeting about her, saying some crooks you just can't catch.
Emily Ryan from downtown, and that'll tie us up at 6.
So the conversation you and I had about, you know, point production coming from other places than Audie Crooks, in my opinion, if Crooks gets 25 or less, even 20 or less, Iowa State's got to hit 10 threes tonight.
Iriafen off the glass.
Whoa, she is spectacular tonight. Came ready to play. This is, as we've heard other coaches describe her as, we're seeing it ourselves. This is the best post player that nobody talks about. Iriafen is a top WNBA prospect looking into next season.
Ryan, the senior, outside to Brown, the freshman. Big win for Baylor in Blacksburg in a game that just concluded moments ago. Can't say that that was stunning given the fact that Liz Kitley is out for the remaining portion of the season, which is now over for the Hokies.
And it's a tough go for the Hokies who, you know, with Kitley, they are such a different team. They're still talented without her, and this is what you're going to see. Kiki Iriafen is going to try to bring Crooks outside of that paint. She's got the nice touch off the glass. She can put it on the floor powerfully, move really well. I mean, they're going to stretch Crooks as far as they can.
Osgana twirling around the high ball screen, and a foul called in the interior. Veteran officiating crew tonight led by Jesse Dickerson, Julie Promenhoek, and Infinity Robinson. Saw them Friday, and they did an outstanding job. This has been a well-officiated NCAA tournament here in Stanford. First bucket for Cameron Brink, and she wanted the foul.
She got great position. I mean, was really just to the left of the bucket there, and that's what she works so hard to get. Iriafen does as well. It's all that work they do beforehand. Okay.
Bellinger, a quick 3.
We see you, Anna.
Second triple of the game, and they'll call that a long 2, so make it 10-8. And jump shot was saved. And a miraculous play by Naimir Dew to keep it in bounds off the block.
Yeah, that was a huge hustle play. Now, great recovery defense by Brink.
Dew off the mark. And tapped out of bounds back to the Cardinal in a 2-point game.
And this Stanford team, you know, you're led by upperclassmen, Cameron Brink, Hannah Jump, Iriafen the junior, and you look at this Iowa State team, and that's the freshman Fab Five. You know, running into town here. Crooks, a freshman. You know, Addie Brown, a freshman at McDonald's, All-American. Brianna Jackson, Jalen Briston, just a few to mention for this team who's got a lot of talent and youth.
And an offensive foul. Crooks claps with her approval. Goes back to ISU. And the first foul on Cameron Brink, playing in her final game at Maples tonight.
If you're Iowa State, your best offense is to get creative and try to create fouls. So Brink's got one first quarter with 5 minutes left. That's a good sign for the Cyclones. Now, you may want to try to get that ball in the Crooks, see if she can body up with Iriafen, get a call going.
Jackson surveys. Naimir Dew has been active in the early going. Another 3 on the way. Here's Lopolo. And another offensive foul on the moving screen. An impressive start for Kiki Iriafen. 8 points so far in our first quarter. 3 rebounds as well. As the Stanford Cardinal now to a 2-point advantage. Now they're dancing in Maples on a Sunday night, 10-8. Stanford, the 2 seed, leading Iowa State, the 7 seed. So glad you could join us alongside of Brooke Weisbrod. I am Roy Philpott. It's still a buzz in the air with what Iowa State did back on Friday night. That 20-point comeback, the second largest in NCAA tournament history.
Yeah, everybody was talking about it. I mean, it was an incredible effort team-wise, and certainly what Audie Crooks did individually was a performance for the ages. 40 points on 18 of shooting, but it was a team effort. And I thought Emily Ryan with her 14 assists, the outside shooting, the unselfish play, this is what the tournament's all about. Like, this was a great night for women's basketball.
Welcome to March. That is our Wendy's fueling the run. And all smiles and a lot of dancing and celebrating here in Stanford, California after the fact. And we mentioned the buzz on social media afterwards as well. Just had the country talking when a freshman dropped 40 points in the 12 boards. So efficient. And let's see what she has in store for an encore tonight. Brooke, it does feel like Iowa State has weathered that early Stanford storm, and Kiki Iriafen's 8 points. Crooks the turn, and this time short.
Now getting the early foul on Cameron Brink certainly helps if you're Iowa State. Getting a couple of 3-point shots from Bellinger. I mean, you have to have that attitude of, we're not going away. We know you're on your home floor. You're going to have to send us out of here. And Iriafen, maybe the only bad shot she's taken this game. But right now, Iowa State's got to just keep the ball moving, try to get the best shot they can. Addie Brown also trying to get involved in this offense.
How about Bellinger? She's got 2 threes, missed the mid-range. Hannah Bellinger in the face mask tonight after she nearly broke her nose against Maryland on Friday. Brooke Dimitri on the floor for the first time. Iriafen again. Baseline jumper is there. She's got 10.
The Pac-12 most improved player. Only Kiki Iriafen and Angel Reese averaged 18 and 11 this season. Her numbers incredible. 12 more points a game this year, 7 more boards.
And Brown was fouled. That goes on Dimitri. That's her first. Crowd shows its appreciation for that call.
Not often these fans, you don't hear a lot of boos from Stanford fans. We'll take another look at this one. Just enough of a touch right in front of the official on the far side.
I'm imagining if you were called for a similar foul back in the day, Coastal Carolina, you would have had something to say about it.
You might have saw a quick tee.
Ryan trying to feed Crooks, finally does. Against Iriafen, scoreless so far. In and out off the glass. Corralled by Addie Brown, another freshman, and she was fouled. And that will go against Dimitri again, her second in the last 25 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa State should try to make this game physical. Stanford, a team that likes spacing, passing. They're going to contain you on defense. It's going to be a battle inside. These loose balls after rebounds, this is big. So you got to be able to try to secure some of those, even just for your confidence if you're Iowa State.
Big story in the tournament today. Duke's upset in Columbus against number 2 seed Ohio State. A big win for Coach Lawson. Here's a steal. Boscana will shoot a pair. Boy, she wanted 3 the hard way and was mad at herself for not completing the layup.
A terrific bounce back and recovery from Boscana. Right, we said the quicker team that bounces back after mistakes. Here you go, not even one possession. And Boscana gets the ball back with the opportunity to put her team ahead more.
Now she's coming off her career high 18 in the win against Norfolk State. The bench loved it. It was a quiet 18. She started stuffing that stat sheet in the second half. And Tara Vanderveer, the Hall of Fame head coach for the Cardinal, told us earlier today, she's kind of found her groove and found her rhythm. We're going to need her to make it to Cleveland in the Final Four.
It goes pretty unnoticed, Roy, but between Brooke Dimitri and Elena Boscana, they averaged 13 points, 6 boards in only 20 minutes, and both of them shoot over 40%. Like, that's a great asset to have in addition to your post players.
Cyclones without a bucket in the last 3 minutes. Crooks on the spin was bumped, and 2 free throws coming for Iowa State. Now, we mentioned the Hall of Fame head coach Tara Vanderveer, the all-time winningest coach in college basketball history. These are two of the longest tenured coaches on the hardwood. Bill Finley has been the head coach in Ames going back to 1995. And Tara Vanderveer, of course, in her 38th season, 3 national championships, all the Final Fours. Their first meeting on the hardwood since back in 2009 in the Big Dance. Two coaches that have a lot of respect for each other. And one more coming for Crooks. 66% on the season.
Do you remember today when we were listening to the scouting report about Audi Crooks, and Tempe Brown, the assistant coach for Stanford, said, she's not going to push you. She's going to move you. And that's exactly what she did to Kiki Ariofman, who doesn't look like she can be moved anywhere. It's going to be a fun test of strength down low for these ladies. I'm enjoying the battle already. Brink's back in the game now.
Brink with the 1 foul on the floor, and the baseline jumper from 15. No. Emily Ryan the rebound. Well, Ryan missed the first 9 games of the season with a foot injury. Now healthy. Her leadership has been sorely missed early, and Crooks cranks one home with a wry smile afterwards.
These fans don't like it. Cameron Brink set up to take a charge. You know, she's definitely going to try to do what she can to get Crooks into foul trouble as well. This is a good mind game going.
And Brink wants the ball right away.
Yeah, she does.
Elbow jumper, no. Advantage Crooks on these last 2 possessions.
I mean, the early battle to get position is fun as well.
Brown for 3. Iowa State grabs the advantage at 14-13.
Some life for the Cyclones. You take the lead here, and if I'm Stanford, I'm going right to Brink, and I'm saying, hey, you got to charge the rim.
Brink, patience inside, couldn't connect. The Cyclones have their first lead. Ryan, the step back triple. There it is again. A 9-0 run for the Cyclones. Some 2,200 miles from home, and the bounce pass from Bozgana. Karams out of bounds, back to ISU.
Audi Crooks setting back up, and she's tried a couple different positions this time. Well, that definitely could have been a charge. That was a lot of physicality down there in the posts. And then Emily Ryan, little brush screen, you go under, and Ryan confident enough to take the 3.
Addie Brown feeling it, an early heat check. A 12-0 run for Iowa State. 20-13 our score, and Tara Vanderveer has seen enough. The Cyclones with a flurry of 3-pointers. Super talented freshman Audi Crooks, 3 points, 3 boards in the early going, and we noticed before the game on Friday night, she takes a moment, collects herself, spends some time looking above and speaking to herself. She was asked about it post-game after the comeback win against Maryland on Friday.
Before every game, I just try to take a moment and I pray, and I am kind of seeking guidance from my father. He passed away when I was 16 in 2021. So I just try to kind of take a second and ground myself and tap into my spiritual side and just know that everything's going to be okay, and he's got the best seat in the house.
That is the late Jimmy Crooks, her father, who passed away in 2021. Parents divorced at an early age, but remained close with both her mom and her dad, and in fact her mother Michelle in the building tonight. And a look at Michelle Cook as she's always close by with her daughter. And it is a touching moment for a player that remains so well grounded and humble despite putting up 40 points in a game like that, her NCAA tournament debut. Inside, a chance for 3. And coming off the bench, Nunu Aguera. And that's a great way to contribute, averaging less than 6 points per game coming in.
Looked like Iowa State might have changed their defense coming out into a triangle 2 or a box and 1. We talked about those junk defenses. That one looks like a box and 1, and then Stanford takes immediate advantage. Great job by Nunu to get to the rim. You know, just making the final point too on Crooks and her humility or her talent. I saw her about an hour and a half after the game, and I said, your phone's got to still be blowing up, right? You know, she said, you know what? I put it on DND. Do not disturb, the best feature possible on an iPhone.
Shot clock, game clock, virtually identical. A good start for the visitors from Ames out of the Big 12. Brown to Ryan, wide open, and another triple. Down it goes, Iowa State. 6 of 8 from deep to start, and a statement being made as the Cyclones made each of their last 5 shots to wrap up our first 10 minutes.
We said Iowa State was going to have to hit at least 10 threes tonight to get that opportunity to be the number 2 seed. Guess what? They got 6 already.
Already one upset, one major upset in the books today in the NCAA tournament. Iowa State looking for its own upset on the road, 23-16, 10 minutes in. And with Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott, we were here a year ago when Coach O and company with Ole Miss took care of business in a similar situation. Cardinal were a 1 seed. Cameron Blink was suffering from the flu, missed the first game in the dance a season ago, and the Rebels found a way to eliminate the Cardinal 54-49. And for Tara Vanderveer, she's talked about this a lot with us this week. The memories of last year, the lessons learned, better leadership from within. They're trying to avoid that similar outcome. And boy, they were held in check by Ole Miss and a Rebels team that just locked them down defensively.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the highlights. There was just no space to breathe when it came to Ole Miss in their defense. And now Audie Crooks getting deep in the paint there. Great defense by Cameron Brink to not foul, not go for the block, just play straight up. You know, Stanford is going to have to find some kind of rhythm offensively. You know, we talked about the junk defenses that Iowa State could throw at you, but they got to find just some rhythm here with Cameron Brink off the screen and roll. We have yet to kind of see that balance.
Ripped away by Bellinger. Iowa State controls with a 7-point lead. High ball screen for Brown, and the pass for Crooks goes out.
Yeah, that one's not going to work. You cannot go to anywhere on the same side where Irioffin and Brink are and expect to get a lob pass.
Well, how dominant was South Carolina earlier today. The bench scoring for Don Staley's Gamecocks, so impressive. They steamrolled North Carolina to advance to the Sweet 16 and remain undefeated. Foul inside. This one goes against the Cyclones. We mentioned the upset. Duke came back to beat Ohio State in Columbus, the number 2 seed Buckeyes. And one of my Final Four picks, I should say. LSU trailed by 7 kind of midway through that second quarter, and then everything started to change in Baton Rouge, and they ended up pulling away from a very good and underrated Middle Tennessee team.
How about Irioffin just straight getting up with that rebound over Audie Crooks. And then for the finish, what a pass. There goes Lopolo.
Irioffin with 12. The lead down to 5.
Boy, Reagan Richardson from Duke had an incredible game. I love her confidence, the way she's scoring. Duke is so hard to score on, by the way. Defensively, they're one of the best out there.
The block by Brink on Audie Crooks, and it goes back to Stanford. No, don't forget the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues tonight on TNT and TBS. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. And Kelsey Jones for Iowa State was just helped off into the Cyclones locker room. As Stanford gets the ball back, trailing 23-18. And a foul down low. Addie Brown can't believe it. Seen a lot of complaining early on to this veteran officiating crew.
Which is not going to help. And any player coach, you know, that spends some time in the game will tell you that. Addie Brown's got to not just try to fight with position for Brink. Brink's too fast, too long. She's going to set her up. She's got to get off of Brink to get back in front of her.
We mentioned Kelsey Jones banged up on that last play. Hit the deck hard in the knee. of Hannah jump hit right behind her head. So we'll give you an update on that as soon as we receive one. Brink receives the rebound, missed the chippy.
Well, that's the rhythm you want to see if you're Stanford. I mean, those are great plays, energy plays put back. So imagine she'll try to get it back on defense. That's another area where they can start kick-starting some of these shots to feel easier.
Brooks with position, defended by Brink. She'll take her time and go to work. That high red district, another block and a jump ball. Stanford gets it on the arrow. And listen to this crowd at Maples.
I could watch a one-on-one matchup of this. This is fantastic. You've got the best shot blocker in the country, the freshman phenom who just dropped 40, trying to get crafty in there, undersized, but the strength there.
Jump back to Arioffen. Short with a baseline jumper. Brink lost it out of bounds. Well, good hustle. The senior point guard, Emily Ryan.
When Crooks gets drawn out of the lane, like when Arioffen pulls her out, if it's a missed shot, you've got to see 4 other Cyclone jerseys crashing the board. Crooks is not going to be able to get back in there and get a board.
Ryan gets it back from Crooks. Crooks with position, and the sweeping hook, no. Well, both bigs bothering each other on both ends of the floor early. Arioffen's been the difference for Stanford in the early going. 12 of the 18 points scored by the player with the ball, number 44. Make it 14.
Just bodied up. It's a great no call as well by the officials as Arioffen makes that powerful move. And you're going to continue to see that from her.
One possession game, Arioffen. One of the top players in the country you probably haven't heard enough about. It's according to everybody here at Maples, including all 4 teams that were on hand back on Friday. It'll stay on this end with 8 to shoot. And for the 4th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game's on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Bellinger's been active. A step back 3 was blocked by Jump. And Jump on the other end. She was wide open. Karam's out to Ogden. Arioffen with 14 and was fouled by Dew. Nymir Dew picks up her first.
The intensity of this game is so thick right now. In every position, trying to get battled for it. What I would love to see, and I can't believe I'm saying this, these players just got to stop talking to the officials. Both sides. It's too much. Eventually it's going to burn. You just got to leave it to the coaches and let them address it.
There's a second foul on Dew. She'll get a breather. Arioffen missed it off of her knee and out of bounds. If you're Stanford, do you start thinking about what happened last year in this same moment?
You do not. Absolutely not. You got to stay focused on this moment. It's not the same team, not the situation, same situation, opponent, none of that. You got to focus on literally this defensive possession at a time, and now what you're going to do on offense.
Ryan wide right. It goes out back to the Cardinal. And Iowa State now 6 of 9 from deep. They have yet to score so far in our second quarter and still maintain a 3-point lead.
And Tara Vanderveer just quick to get up. She's very fiery right now, trying to give directions, inspiration, motivation to this team. And just find some groove. They haven't found a groove yet, team-wise.
Jump left open. That's a 3 and we're tied.
That's a groove getter. Watch what happens now.
Bellinger has it for Iowa State. From 16 and drains it off the screen.
No fear. How about you playing a game with a face mask for the first time and you still come in nailing shots?
And Atabu inside was trying to body up with Brink, called for the foul. Hannah Jump's the all-time leading 3-point shooter in Stanford history, and here's why.
You know what she was told? If you're out there, I want you shooting the ball. rhythm three for Hannah Jump is dangerous.
Kelsey, Nikki, Shanae, thank you very much. Here's a look at Bill Finley in his 29th season in Ames. A veteran head coach has his team out to a 2-point lead and 3-point differential. Guys, we're talking about it. It's there for Iowa State. The Cardinal, led by Hall of Famer Tara Vanderveer, got the advantage so far inside. Cam Brink, Kiki Iriafen. Really, it's Iriafen so far. The big reason why. Brink has it. Free throw line extended. Little high-low action. And a foul over the back. It'll be called on Stanford. And that'll be the second on Cameron Brink.
Another different look here from Iowa State defensively. You're going to see them looking to be in a box and one with Jones at the 1. Guarding Hannah Jump. So you know, you do what you can to try to throw off the offense. That's the whole point of, you know, putting these defenses in at times and making the offense take time to recognize what they are.
Iowa State 1 of 8 from the floor so far in our second quarter. Still leading by 2. Physical game down low. Three-pointer off the mark. That was Harriel who just checked in. And Janiah Harriel missed the triple. Cyclones get it back. Here's Emily Ryan. She wants to be a head coach one day. She has one of the louder voices you'll hear at practice day in and day out in Ames.
And that's a much different and better job defensively. Harriel going over the screen. You heard Nikki talk about that. They got to go over it. And then she pays it off with a 3 of her own.
Working on that exact shot at that exact spot on the floor all afternoon at shoot around for Stanford. 32 in white. And the Cardinal back in front. And a forearm by Harriel. That'll be her first.
Here's Harriel off of the steal. Gets it back out. Iriafen, the quick hot touch and the kick out on the bench. Oh, yeah.
She's been working on that jump shot the second part of the season. Tara Vanderveer telling us earlier today that that is something that she's been very impressed with, kind of rejuvenating her release and how she gets to the apex of the jumper. Cardinal by 1. Iowa State just 2 points so far in our second quarter. Emily Ryan would love to change that, and the floater is short. Crooks off glass.
Her biggest strength is being able to hold off the defenders how she does, either before she gets the catch or on that offensive rebound. So that's a place where she could get some points up.
Wide open for Harriel. Tracked down by Ogden and Ryan, and a jump ball. The arrow favors the Cyclones. Brooke, how impressed are you with Audie Crooks and the fact that she's been physical without fouling and now with 5 points?
Yeah, I mean, you have to play incredibly smart basketball because you know it's going to be a physical game. And so Crooks has just got to do what she can to get touches. I mean, she hasn't looked flustered one time because she's getting pretty beat up in the post as well. And keeping her composure.
Maddie Brown operating. Too strong. Tried to rip away the board. Could not. Stanford comes away with it. Ogden wide open, top of the key. I think Iowa State perfectly fine with 40 in white, 32 in white, launching threes.
That is the best shot you could ask for if you're Iowa State. And I think Iriafen, you know, she needs to get that ball around the elbow, maybe that short corner, and just try to put the ball on the floor and create some bodying up with Crooks.
Two of the best three-point shooters in the Big 12 and the Pac-12 defending each other tonight. Hannah Jump and Hannah Bellinger.
They're dribbling too much. Cyclones got to get back to passing and spacing.
Under 2 to go in the half. Entertaining start at Maples. Iriafen with 16.
That's what I want, shooting the ball, handling the basketball right now. Like, I would want my offense, if I'm Stanford, give Iriafen a touch every possession. Even if she doesn't shoot it, she needs to be that anchor in there, draw some defenders inside, and then get everybody else moving.
Emily Ryan probing and connecting down low. It was Bill Finley who told us Thursday in the first practice session here at Maples Coming to one of our practices, the two voices you'll hear, mine and Emily Ryan's. Ariapin missed the reverse. Outside to jump.
Woo. I'll tell you this, Kiki Ariapin has been responsible for extra possessions and more points by her hustle, getting on the floor. 50-50 balls have been huge for the Cardinal tonight.
Ryan kept her dribble alive, off glass again. Back-to-back buckets.
Answer. Emily Ryan's as tough as they get.
She's got 13 tonight. Nearly came up with a steal against Aguera. Tied at 31, approaching 30 seconds to go. Ariapin, one of her rare misses this evening. It goes back to the Cyclones, and Brooke, shot clock is off. Iowa State can play for the final possession of the half.
I think they take the best shot available. I don't think you necessarily have to play for that final shot, but certainly the way they've been shooting the three ball, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Ryan take that three, or even Addie Brown.
6 threes in the first quarter, none so far in the second. Ryan's got to go. Crooks for three. Ryan gets it back and fouled before the buzzer. Emily Ryan's going to shoot two. And it was a bang-bang play at the horn for sure. They may take a look at it, and they will.
Last play's under review. See if the foul occurred before triple zeros.
Brooke, I will tell you in real time from our vantage point, it felt like that whistle was blown and the foul occurred right before the horn sounded.
Right? I mean, it is as close as it gets here.
Foul occurred at 1.0. That'll be 2 free throws.
Maybe a little less close than I thought. A whole second, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
And it's enough time for Stanford to get another shot.
That's correct. So Harrell picks up her second. Emily Ryan, outstanding free throw shooter at 88% coming in. All Big 12 first team a year ago, all Big 12 second team this year. In the game she had Friday in the comeback against Maryland, Cyclones were down 20. Ryan scored 18, and maybe more importantly had 14 assists. A new career high, and one more free throw coming. And she's backing up that performance with 15 in the first half against Stanford. And Iowa State with a 2-point lead at the break in search of an upset. The 7 seed in position. Audie Crooks, 5 points, 4 rebounds. Kiki Ariapin has been sensational with 16 and 7. Let's get you back to the studio. Kelsey, Coach, and Shanae. And welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One inside Maples Pavilion. 2-point lead for Iowa State. Stanford in it because of Kiki Ariapin, 16 first half points to 7 rebounds. She has been a true difference maker, and Emily Ryan so impressive with 15 points in the half to pace the Cyclones. Final 20 minutes headed your way right now. Nip and tuck the entire night. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. Stanford's got to get something going, and perhaps it starts with Cameron Brink.
I think so. I mean, just a half where she went 1 for 5 from the floor. She's got to call for the ball, go get it, and try to get some offensive putbacks as well. Kiki Ariapin really led the way for Stanford, keeping them alive with second and third chance opportunities. You got Audie Crooks held to 5 points in check, 2 for 11.
Let's take a look at tonight's game track brought to you by Invesco QQQ. Crooks 5 and 5. Brink just made 1 field goal in 5 attempts. Something's got to change in her final game at Maples. And if you're Bill Finley, head coach of the Cyclones, I think you got to like your position.
You're feeling all right if you're the Cyclones right now. Now you're hoping your 3-point shooting can still stay as hot as it was in the first half, because Hannah Jump, she's that 3-point shooter for Stanford. We saw a bit of her talent get to work in the first.
Ghana stepped out of bounds on the rebound. It goes to the Cyclones. Iowa State has never defeated Stanford in 4 previous meetings. The last time came back in 2009 in the tournament. Final game of the night on the women's side. Crooks was shoved, and the foul will be called on Iriafen. And Brooke, that's going to be her second.
So if you're Iowa State, you've yet to really be able to have success getting out of the ball inside where she can get that easy turn just like she did against Maryland. It's the catch. That's the toughest part for her, especially in this game. So getting to the free throw line is a good sign for Iowa State.
And the Cyclones take everybody on the floor and move them away from the painted area. Not even going to attempt to get the rebound.
I mean, that's what they do. It gives me anxiety as a shooter.
1 of 2 for
sure.
Crooks.
And we've seen them kind of have that way about them. And a lot of trust in their free throw shooters.
Crooks has held her own tonight against Brink. Very often it's been a bit of a different story. Kiki's operated with a mid-range game, trying to pull the freshman away from the low posts. With a bounce.
She's able to get that ball and keep it so low. Her length, the way that she gains real estate just with a step or two, and then a tough finish falling out of bounds.
Bellinger hit a couple of long-range shots in the first half against Iriafen. Outside to Jackson for 3. And a good sign for the Cyclones.
Cyclones continue to stay hot from outside. That's now their 7th 3 of the game. 7 for 11. Audie Crooks was 18 of 20 the other night. Now they're getting it done from outside. We thought it would take at least 10 threes if Crooks didn't hit 25. But watch this move. Stutter step, little jab, and then exploding the left side. And as she gets more agile and stronger, she'll be able to finish closer to the rim.
Rihanna Jackson, 41% three-point shooter. Crooks just picked up her second foul. Perhaps a developing story there. Lopolo for 3, and the response.
I love how balanced it is on both sides of scoring. I mean, everybody with the ball in their hand feels confident, looking for their 3.
Unexpected offense from Lopolo and Jackson on back-to-back possessions for both sides. Ryan continues her sharp shooting. This time inside, now with 17.
How crafty is she? I feel like she's got control of the ball just in one hand. Iriafen! Woo! Unstoppable tonight.
Iowa State's lead down to 1. Iriafen with 20. Crooks against Brink. Brink won that battle. When she grabs her chest for a moment and may have taken a shot right at the base of her neck. Brown with a rebound. Brink appears to be okay. It has been physical down low. Outside to Brown.
That was a heat check for Brown. She was feeling it in that first half. And we start to get in the offense, and that looks to be a foul away from the ball on Bozgana.
Bozgana was running down the far side. As we take a look at our bracket, the winner of this game will get the winner of NC State and Tennessee. That game at 4 o'clock tomorrow in Raleigh at Reynolds Coliseum. Lady Vols and the Wolfpack. Texas has already advanced to the Sweet 16 with its victory against Alabama and head coach Christy Curry earlier today. 1-point game at Maples. Iowa State gets it back. Bellinger baseline. Natabu has it against Brink. Brink the rejection. Cyclones get it back. Shot clock at 10. Jackson picked up by Ogden.
How about this defense from Stanford on this possession?
Ryan behind the back, gotta go. Nearly got it off the glass. Yeah, Brooke, you mentioned the defense, perhaps the best possession we've seen for Stanford on that side. Brink, second field goal, wants the foul, didn't get the whistle.
She got great position, bodied up the contact, and just kind of wait to see when she really starts to come alive. She's an emotional player, and right now you want to see that. Not in a negative way toward the officiating. I'm talking about getting her team rallied.
I mean, Brooke, she's supposed to be the #2 pick in the WNBA draft coming up next month. Emily Ryan is short. She'll track down her own miss and get fouled from behind. Apollo, the guilty party that time. Cameron Brink Figures to be number 2 right behind Caitlin Clark, who's back in action on ESPN tomorrow night in primetime. And you take a look at the updated mock draft, and you got stars everywhere this go around.
You cannot lose. I mean, the WNBA draft is, the WNBA is going to be secure, even more so for the next few years. It's got great stars coming in, young stars rising up. You know, a league that's just seen incredible numbers and championships won all across the board. I mean, I was there for the Chicago Sky a few years ago, and the atmosphere is just electric, and it's even better now.
Brown wide open. They worked on that exact play and shoot around the entire second half of the session, and it pays dividends. Iowa State back in front by 1. Ogden for 3. And she'll get it back. Maybe the longest rebound in the tournament this year. Brink against Brown, senior on freshman, outside Ariappin. Well, Ryan just has a calmness about her that settles things down for her team. Running the point inside and a chance for 3. More unexpected offense. Jalen Bristow.
You know, Bristow, one of the freshmen we told you about. This fabulous team here, this young squad. Just a little pump fake, driving hard baseline and taking Ogden off the bounce. You got to have heroes. Everybody's got to show up today. Can Iowa State get this done?
5 freshmen playing key roles in this NCAA tournament run for head coach Bill Finley. Hasn't really operated in the portal yet, hasn't had to. He's done an outstanding job recruiting, and he thinks this roster is built for the long haul, and tonight they're showing why.
Looks like they might be in one of those jump defenses as well. Perhaps a triangle and 2. And Brink, I like her getting that ball up there. She's got to take charge. This is her floor. This is her last game here on this floor. I know she wants to leave it all on the line. I want to see her come alive and start to demand the ball.
Final game at Maples for one of the best players in the history of the Pac-12. Crooks, high off the glass, no. And Brink over the back. That is her 3rd foul.
And pleading for rebounding from her squad. This is a key situation, because with Brink out, now you've got some more options if you're Iowa State.
Physical game inside. Cameron Brink with 3 personals and has to go to the bench for head coach Tara Vanderveer. Clearly over the back and right over top of Bristow. And now it's time for tonight's Need to Know, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. And Cameron Brink, largely ineffective so far with those 3 personal fouls. Does have 4 blocks, 7 rebounds, so doing it in different ways, Brooke.
Yeah, contributing defensively, no doubt. Hitting the board strong. Where she's getting herself into trouble is the fouls. And you saw her pleading with her teammates to get a body and keep the box out going. So, you know, she's going to have to mentally and emotionally get checked back in.
Player of the year in the conference, defensive player of the year in the conference, and rarefied air to be in a position to claim both awards in the same season. Currently on the bench with the 3 fouls, and free throws coming for Jalen Bristow. 77% on this season, and she'll get 1 more. Brooke, I mentioned during the break, there's some nervous energy in this arena right now.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Knowing what's at stake. Bristow missed a pair. Stanford gets it back. A chance to tie or go ahead with a 3. Jump. An air ball. That's probably happened 1 or 2 times in her entire career.
Yeah, I mean, that's a spot-on shooter right there. Stanford, you know, looking out of rhythm, especially with Brink on foul trouble. Ariapfin's been the one to show up big time today. Jump with a few shots here and there. Polo getting it in as well, but where's that consistency that Stanford needs? Because Emily Ryan, she's the one bringing it tonight for Iowa State, when we were talking all night about Audie Crooks on Friday.
Ryan has 19. The lead back to 4. And it's not only the point production and rebounds for Ryan, she doesn't turn it over.
And she's going to be a fantastic head coach. I mean, look at her composure and her fiery skills too. She's not just a calm presence out there. Like, she is a true leader.
Another coach on the floor for Bill Finley. Brown the runner. Iriafen the rebound. Bounce pass to jump. Back door was open.
That's how you get it done. Catch them when they're not paying attention. Stanford, a great passing team. Get them out in transition. That's your 13th assist of the game. So the ball is moving.
Ryan spun free. Another layup. She's got 21.
Like Elmer's glue, that ball in her hand. You're not getting that away from her.
Senior leadership, a veteran presence in the Iowa State backcourt. A true difference maker in the first game and a half of the NCAA tournament. 1 point away from her season high of 22 already. Iriafen. .22 for Kiki Iriafen. Trying to match Emily Ryan point for point. Ryan again with a pass. Crooks a touch. Iriafen the rejection.
Look at Iriafen sprinting down the floor. That's what I'm talking about. She wants that basketball, and they say, you can have it.
Crooks rips away the rebound. And Ryan traveled. Well, I didn't know she had clean possession. They'll say it's a turnover.
Let's go back to that great defense without the foul from Iriafen. Contest, you get it, and you go. Look at her sprinting down the floor. The turnover, Brink loves to see it. Her team getting the ball back.
We mentioned the nervous energy in this building for Cameron Brink. Your last game at Maples, and with a loss tonight, your collegiate career comes to a close. She's sensing that right now. Aguera inside working hard. We're tied at 48. Four ties, 9 lead changes. Ryan, that's an offensive foul. And Aguera has something to say.
2 huge height plays from Nunu Aguera. Boy, there is not much like a charge to get your team riled up and put a smile on Cameron Brink's face. We haven't seen that too much tonight either. Here it is. That's straight up charge, 101. Terrific heads up play defensively from Aguera.
Motions running high at Maples Pavilion. The lob off the rim from Dimitri. Cyclones get it back in a tie game. And Dew was fouled on the runner. Iriafen clipped her, and that's going to be her third. So Brink with 3, Iriafen with 3. And the 2 Stanford stars will exchange a handshake as Brink checks back in.
You see Iriafen trying to play help side and just gets her enough with the body. It's the swing down, Roy, versus just stand still contest. And we heard from Tara Vanderveer that might be an issue for them tonight. She said they're possible to get into foul trouble, and that's what could hurt us.
Iowa State just 5 of 10 at the line. Dew missed a pair. The rebound tracked down by Bristow. High ball screen for Ryan against Cameron Brink. Weaving her way through traffic. Crooks has it, and she was bumped and fouled. And that's going to be number 4 on Cameron Brink.
My goodness. Not even able to get one offensive possession. This is huge. I mean, if you're Iowa State, to me, you do nothing but try to get Iriafen one more foul on the next possession. Ryan just working. And at that last minute here, Crooks got in. Brink's got to keep her hands up, trying to get that deflection. You get it, but also, awareness of where you are in the game. You've got major foul trouble, so it's more important to have you in there and contest.
2 for 2 for Audie Crooks. Brink with 4 fouls. Iriafen with 3. Brink on the bench. Kiki on the floor. Iriafen on Crooks. There's the quickness and the finish. 24 for Kiki Iriafen.
Did you see after she faced up, they both bumped into each other and neither one of them gave each other space. Like, those are the two strongest women on the floor right now. It's so much fun to watch them go at it.
Tied at 50, less than a minute remaining in the third. Crooks yelling out instructions. She'll get it back. Boy, so calm. 5 to shoot. Now the Cyclones got to go. Jackson fell down and a turnover. Ahead to Iriafen. And Jackson remains on the floor and just stepped up and is bleeding. And they will pause the action. And she has blood all over.
My goodness. You can see there on the floor.
Just slipped and fell on the dribble drive.
Yep.
Ran out of real estate.
Oh, goodness. Just hit the floor hard and immediately grabbing her face. As the crew trying to get the floor cleaned up on the baseline. She'll get attended to by the training staff.
And ran right back to the Iowa State locker room. And Jackson provided a spark earlier in the quarter with a three-pointer. And now both teams will get a chance to collect their breaths for a moment in a tie game. Just under 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. A chance to go to the Sweet 16. And this contest has provided everything you could ask for and then some.
Yeah, it really has. You see the job Emily Ryan has done tonight, coming off a 14-assist game Friday. And Kiki Iriafen, no surprise here, a double-double. But the way she's established herself as one of the top post players in the country tonight. I mean, the stage big for Iriafen, and she's showing up.
If you're Tara Vanderveer, at what point do you consider bringing Brink back on the floor?
I'd say not until about the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter, depending on what the score is. I mean, your most valuable player, you need her in there at clutch moments.
Final game at Maples Pavilion. There's a steal. Bristow came away with it. Weaving her way through traffic, and she ran out of space. Well, a big moment there. That could have been an easy bucket for Iowa State. Instead, Stanford gets it back with 10 seconds left in the third.
One of the hard things to do is when you're a freshman, everything feels so fast. So that opportunity, that ball, that big goal right there, and then you have to think there's a possibility subconsciously you're worried about slipping. You know, is there still some blood spots at the other end of the floor? You see these ladies just styled in tonight, have just provided some entertainment, everything we hope for.
Shot clock is off. Apollo has it for Stanford. Jump, the backdoor cut again. Outside, Aguera. 30 minutes in, we remain tied. 10 minutes remaining at Maples Pavilion. And a chance to go to the Sweet 16 for the winner of this one. Now the stars are out tonight at Maples Pavilion. How about Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, who just made the short trek over from the Bay Area, the former Iowa State standout, and his wife Jenna, newly married as of February. Condoleezza Rice, the former Secretary of State, in the house as well, taking in all of the action as we take a look at tonight's Star Stories presented by Honda. Audie Crooks, 8.7 rebounds, has been contained inside, as has Cameron Brink, but most importantly in that graphic, the 4 fouls for the Pac-12 Player of the Year. She remains on the bench.
Yeah, and so it's got to be gut check time for Stanford. Iriafen has led the way throughout this game. Does she have enough to lead the Cardinal into the Sweet 16?
We're 10 minutes away from finding out. Iriafen with 24. And Hannah Bellinger has checked back in with the face mask off. After nearly breaking her nose Friday night, she wore it for the first 3 quarters. It is off in the fourth, and we will see if that assists in her shooting.
Well, it certainly seemed to help her out the other night. I'm surprised to see her take it off, but clearly a game of comfort is necessary right now. And Iowa State making Stanford uncomfortable all night long. We've really yet to see the Cardinal get to a rhythm. That's going to be a foul on Crooks, trying to keep Iriafen from staying in position.
Third on the freshman Crooks. Iowa State was upset in the first round a year ago by Toledo. Stanford lost in the second round here in this building to Ole Miss as a 1 seed. Erie off in the mid-range. Cardinal are back in front. Kiki with 26.
WNBA scouts looking, just kind of saying, yeah, we're going to see you in a year.
You can only imagine how much more
goodness.
she will improve between end of this season and next year. Brooks hit the deck trying to save it and could not. All smiles on the way up. Stanford gets it back with a 2-point lead.
I mean, this is just such a likable young woman. The hustle, the demeanor, the teamwork. I just love to see her play. And as one tweet we saw the other night very accurately describes after this year, she's the best player in Iowa. No better pay attention, number 5'5".
Polo thought about it. The sounds of March on full display tonight. Jump the step back three, and down it goes. Cardinal by 5. And Bill Finley has seen enough.
How about Cameron Brink running out to midcourt to give her teammates a high five? To tell Erie Offen thank you for leading this team. Erie Offen actually sprinting out of the tunnel right now.
Brink family in attendance, feeling good about this recent turn of events. Yes, they are, my friend. We appreciate it. Audie Crooks, the talented freshman, first team all Big 12. And it's back to a one-possession game at Maples.
Smart offensive play from Iowa State to go right into Crooks and challenge Brink, who has to just defend without fouling now. 4 fouls for Brink.
4 fouls on the floor. Addie Brown calmly drains the elbow J.
Between Brown, Crooks, and Emily Ryan, does this team ever get rattled?
The simple answer is no.
No.
I like it when you ask me the questions on occasion, too. Guerra, triple team, lost it, out to Brink. (57-54). Cameron Brink in her final game here at Stanford on the home floor. And that shot bothered by Guerra. Stanford comes away with it. A lot of time left in this one. Brink wants it back to Bozgana. Check it, Dimitri. Brink against Crooks. Short. Ryan for 3, and she drilled it. Tied at 57. And a new season high for Emily Ryan, Brooke.
Stone cold Emily Ryan. I mean, every time that Emily Ryan's got the ball in transition, you don't know what she's going to do with it. She does not give it away.
Brink outside to Lopolo. That's a 3. Couldn't get the bounce. And the rebound by Crooks.
And you saw Brink could only go a little bit up for that board. Did not want to get called for the over the back.
Ryan thought about it. Inside to Brown, and a turnover ripped away by Guerra. How valuable has 3 and white been in the second half?
I mean, huge. And this is the same player that Cameron Brink looked at and said, hey, you got to box out. And she's made some big-time plays tonight.
Lopolo, the Euro. Brown, no, ripped away by Dimitri. And a fresh 20 for the Cardinal. And Tara Vanderveer wants to talk things over. A timeout is called. And sensing the unevenness of that possession, Stanford has it with 15 to shoot when we come back.
Play for each other. This is your time. This is your time. Right? Don't waste it. Don't overthink it. One play at a time. Do the things that we always do. And like always, we walk out of here, we walk up the ramp, right? Our head is up, our eyes are open, We got a smile on our face. Our heart is full because we did it our way. All right? 40 minutes the Iowa State way. Here we go.
The Iowa State way means a little bit more for head coach Bill Finley. Year number 29 in Ames, started back in 1995. He has built his brand, and with these fabulous 5 freshmen he's got on the court tonight, they have given Stanford all it can handle and then some in a tie game. Under 6 minutes remaining back on the farm. An open look, that's a 3, and it's short by Bozgana. Iowa State controls.
Triangle and 2, right? Every time out of a timeout, you'll probably see a different look from Iowa State defensively. That time, throwing another junk one, the triangle and 2, just bothering Stanford enough to force them to shoot outside.
Emily Ryan behind the back from 16. With the bounce. 11th lead change of the night, and Emily Ryan now with 26 points. Cardinal back to work. Brink and Iriafen on the floor. Jump, the response. Her final game at Maples, and she's playing well in the second.
Yeah, I like her mentality. She's been trying to look for her shot without doing too much tonight. Shooting 50% with those 13 points. They've been huge.
Ryan swatted out of bounds. Bozgana and Brink, and the foul will be called on Elena. Boy, Cameron held her breath for a moment there, worried that was number 5.
I mean, the most direct eye contact with the official, just saying, what are you going to throw up? 2-0 or 2-2 on this foul. And here comes the help side. Ooh, Brink with a clean block, but Bozgana got her with the body.
Ryan with 26, 88% free throw shooter. One more coming. For the 4th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Cyclones by 2. Ryan clutch. And 1 point away from her career high of 29. Lopolo open. Out of bounds and well short. Boy, Iriafen, you feel like maybe she needs to operate a little bit more in that high rent district downstairs and get a touch close to the rim.
Well, Emily Ryan doing a good job of kind of showing that help side and then getting back out to contest the 3-point shot. And with Lopolo, like, you'll live with her taking the 3 versus Iriafen facing up and going to work. So she's doing a good job of forcing Iriafen to pass back out.
Crooks the spin, Iriafen the block. Stanford has it, and Crooks commits the foul, and that's going to be her 4th. And a good show of sportsmanship, trying to help Kiki up.
Yeah, these 2 ladies and Cameron Brink actually all dabbed it up even before the tip tonight. And a lot of respect with each other's games. They're going to play hard to the end. They're going to fight for the ball. Audie Crook's been on the floor all night long. Oh, Iriafen with the slip there. Glad that she landed okay.
We do see Ariana Jackson back on the Iowa State bench as well, and her chin is taped up after she exited the court moments ago, falling down with blood spewing everywhere. There she is. And a good sign for the Cyclones, who lead it by 2. Screen for jump for the lead. In and out. Iriafen gets a rebound.
Coach Bill Finley told us about, his concern not only for Stanford's length but their athleticism. He just said that they're more mobile than any post players that we've seen throughout the course of the season. And there's some terrific post players in the Big 12 Conference. But yeah, you put together the athleticism, the length, mobility, the spacing, and the guard skills, especially what Iriafen's bringing to the table tonight. It's just really hard to figure out how to position yourself.
2 for 2 for Iriafen. Cameron Brink checks in. Kiki's got 28.
On 24 shots, Roy. And the next highest field goal attempts, Hannah Jump with 11. I'm so surprised to see tonight Cameron Brink with just 9 field goal attempts.
Iriafen went over 1,000 points for her career Friday night in the win against Norfolk State. Back that up with a 28 spot so far this evening. Bellinger with a mask off on the floor. Chance to go to the Sweet 16. The winner does exactly that. Ryan, the spin and the triple. And a new career high of 31.
Well, Ryan might be leaving here with a 40-piece tonight.
Arioffen traveled. Cyclones have it leading by 3. And again, we've mentioned it several times. You can feel the nervousness of this arena. A capacity crowd, a partisan crowd. Stanford fans everywhere sensing exactly what happened a year ago. Maybe on the verge again. Ryan kept her dribble alive until now.
I feel like Addie Brown's going to pop a shot here.
Timer at 6. Ryan, a deep 3. And the rebound cleared by Natabu. And 2 players hit the deck hard, and let's see, boy, Natabu fell down and Arioffen did. Everybody appears to be okay. We have seen some tumbles.
Yeah, that had me hold my breath. Both players. Gosh, landed so awkwardly. I mean, you'd love to see this, so just fighting till the absolute end. This is everything that March wants to be. Loose balls, going after it, hard play. Wow.
Lopolo picked up her 3rd in that sequence.
Yeah, Lopolo on the front. I'm just glad, again, everybody landed safely on that play. That was scary.
Brown will track down the deep pass in the backcourt. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Addie Brown, the freshman, working against Brink, the senior. Got caught in the backdoor cut, Ryan, and she traveled before the bounce pass.
Wow. And Addie Brown asking for her teammates, hey, keep moving, get in motion. You got to have that spacing. You can't just go with the one-on-one dribbling and hope somebody frees themselves up from the defense at the last minute. And that's what Addie Brown, she used a lot of energy on that play, Roy. All that dribbling. And Audie Crooks, now back in the game.
4 fouls for the freshman. Unanimous Big 12 performer, all conference. Arioffen, the lead down to 1. Kiki with 30. Crooks has position on Brink. Brink stuffed her. And Crooks fell down hard, and look out. And Cameron Brink just fouled out. Crooks in pain. Waves to her head coach indicating she's okay. And that is how Cameron Brink's career ends at Maples Pavilion.
A tough call to make, because it could have easily been a tie-up underneath. And good to see Crooks back up after she took a hard fall and a bounce with her head. Here's the foul here. You see, Brink, she does reach over instead of up.
Is that not a shooting foul?
It was to me.
Officials indicate otherwise. Brown and Ryan some friendly fire, and a lot happening here approaching 2 to play.
Now that really could have fired Emily Ryan up. We just got called for a travel a minute ago.
Ryan took a shot in the face, and Arioffen kicked it. Well, we've mentioned several times the physicality between these two teams. It is front and center in our 4th quarter. Shot clock reset back to 20 after the kickball. Crooks on Arioffen. Determined expression. Arioffen with a block. Here comes Stanford.
Kiki has been the key for the Stanford Cardinal tonight. Incredible performance. That time, the biggest defensive play of the night.
Arioffen wants it. Instead of 3. And it goes! Brooke Dimitri!
Welcome to the party, Brooke. Wow, what a big shot.
Wow.
Right? the three ball has been good on both sides at times, but Brooke Dimitri said, "You gonna give me that space?" What a shot in front of her bench, just infusing life into this Stanford Cardinal bench. The crowd, the whole energy of the building changed with that shot.
The lead at 2 for the home team, Stanford. Emily Ryan on the other side as we present you our Get More, brought to you by Geico. A career-high 31 to have Iowa State in position. And the Cyclones were sitting pretty moments ago before that Dimitri three. A good three-point shooter, but an unexpected star with the shot of her life. If you're the Cyclones, Bill Finley.
You're good. Stay calm, right? Plenty of time. You're down 2. It is about this possession, getting a good shot.
Addie Brown on Dimitri, the runner off glass, and we're tied. No back down from the freshman Addie Brown.
Right, and for Stanford, you don't waste time. You keep the ball moving. Everybody in the white jersey got to do something. And I'd go right back down to Uriafen, let her post up, face up, and take Crooks off the bounce.
Under a minute to play. Again, Dimitri, not this time, and the rebound controlled by Bristow.
I don't know, Roy, if I'm Stanford, I'd have rather seen Uriafen take that one-on-one.
Nervous moments in Maples. Brown gets it back. A three, short. She taps it to herself, and the shot clock resets. And Ryan will take a deep breath. For the right to go to the Sweet 16. Crooks with position inside. No! Uriafen, yes! And Tara Vanderveer wanting to talk things over with her team in a tie game. 11.5 seconds remaining. Both teams with still a foul to give, and now Stanford with one possession can punch its ticket to the Sweet 16. What a game, what a moment, and now if you're Tara Vanderveer, one of the best coaches in college basketball history.
Yeah.
The all-time winningest coach in college basketball history. What does she need to draw up here for her squad?
Can I break off and go over there and be a sideline reporter for a minute? I want to listen in on this huddle, Roy. You're talking about greatness right now. The all-time winningest coach in NCAA history, talking about where does this ball need to go? Who are our shooters? The tie ball game, we've still got timeout left. A foul to give. Don't panic. To me, Uriafen. Go ahead and set her screen. Get her the ball up about that elbow line, maybe the mid lane. One swoop, power, go in strong. Dare these officials. Dare them to call that foul. Go in strong.
Heartbreak a year ago in this same moment against Ole Miss. Stanford trying to break back through. And a basket will do that. Foul to give for both sides. Iowa State with 2 timeouts remaining. And Stanford with just 1. Boy, this game has delivered in so many ways. 9 ties, 12 lead changes. Cameron Brink in her final home game is fouled out for Hall of Fame head coach Tara Vanderveer. And it's Uriafen's time in all likelihood. Dimitri's got to get it in, and here we go. Uriafen. Lopolo. And bumped with a foul to give, so a smart play, and Bill Finley telling that to Emily Ryan right now. Next foul results in free throws. Lopolo has it.
She's got to go.
4 seconds, 3 seconds. Uriafen. Overtime.
Not a bad shot. You get it to the player you want. You'll take it. How about Crooks trying to take that charge? That's the gutsiest play I've seen her make this tournament.
4 fouls on the freshman, Audie Crooks. There was contact, but no whistle.
Good no whistle, too.
Let's take another look at that last sequence. Uriafen, the player you want to shoot. She's got a 30-piece already.
There you go. She gets the ball at the free throw line area. Got that elbow, a swoop, a strong move. But Crooks, how about that lateral movement? Roy, to cut off the baseline. I mean, Iriafen is quick. Look at Crooks moving side to side, getting it done on defense. Iriafen frustrated with that one. She had plenty of time, though. I'm thinking maybe a step back and then a crossover. She could have had herself a little layup. But that's a guard skill you're going to see Iriafen have and develop probably by next year.
Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt coming up as soon as we're done here in Stanford. Winner of this game goes to the Sweet 16. The loser will see its season come to a close. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. So for Stanford, you're without Cameron Brink, the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft coming up next month. Kiki Iriafen has been fantastic. I don't know, is there a mental advantage to start OT, considering what we've seen in this final quarter?
You know, I think if you're Stanford, you're rolling out there with who you got. You know, you're not thinking, unfortunately for them, they're not thinking about Cameron Brink being on the bench other than playing for her. They're saying, we got our 5, Iriafen's got to step up. This is her team next year. This is her team. So right now, it's her team. And she's been the one to get it done tonight. Her hand a jump, the senior last night on the floor for jump as well here in Maples. And for Iowa State, you just got to continue to play as if this is a game that's winnable and staying calm. That's their best weapon, is them staying calm.
We saved the best for last. The final game on this Sunday to determine who's going to the Sweet 16.
But it's Monday back east. So good morning, everybody on that East Coast. Thanks y'all for staying up late with us.
We appreciate each and every one of you. Crooks and Iriafen, and the tap control by Stanford. Overtime underway. Crooks with the 4 fouls. Iriafen, elbow jumper. Ryan the rebound. A career night for number 11 for the Cyclones already. Crooks will back it down low. Iriafen controls. Well, the shots that fell against Maryland, an undersized Maryland squad, have not fallen the same consistency tonight with Iriafen and Brink patrolling the low post.
So actually, I'm noticing too, Roy, like her shoulders aren't always square now to the baseline, and that's because Stanford's defense is forcing her to shoot a little more off balance.
Hannah jump was on balance. Stanford back in front.
And rather than being able to square up and kind of get that easy lay-in, Audie Crooks is having to use angles tonight, as has Emily Ryan. They've done them well.
A sensational crossover, wide open for 3. Iowa State back in front.
Blazing. Emily Ryan been killing it all night long. Y'all heard about Audie Crooks Friday night. How about a 34-point evening?
Iriafen and a chance for 3 on the other end.
It's Vanderveer
on the floor.
I hope that was in excitement. It doesn't look to be that way, though. Watching her get back to the bench, fired up. Tara Vanderveer wants to see her ladies win this game in advance.
She had a brief word with Nunu Aguera. More importantly, Iriafen at the line. And Audie Crooks just fouled out of the game.
Now, what a tournament for that young woman. Blows a kiss to the crowd and her supporters. We will look forward to seeing Audie Crooks in uniform.
When you think about the future,
to play
women's college basketball, Juju Watkins, Audie Crooks is a part of that conversation. Caitlin Clark moves on to the WNBA as the #1 draft pick next month. Crooks will be a name to remember for a long time. The Stanford lead is 2. Bellinger fell down, and Ryan quickly picked it up. Emily Ryan, what other tricks does she have up her sleeve tonight? Natabu inside, no. Last touch by Aguera, 6 on the shot clock.
It looked like Aguera got a piece of that ball as well. And remember, Tara Vanderveer sprinted out on the floor to have a very strong message. Nunu looked at her and said, I got you, I got you. So it was received.
Loud and clear. 6 on the timer. And a foul called. Solopolo picked up her 4th. Iowa State with now 20 to shoot after the foul call. Dangerous toss. Brown has it. Brown for three, and the lead.
Wow.
Stone cold from downtown for the freshman, Addie Brown. Lopolo, and the response. High-level hoops on the farm. Cardinal back in front. Ryan was bumped and lost it out of bounds, and Aguirre came up with a stop.
And she just tapped the side of her thigh and just said, let's go. This game has been epic, my friend.
An instant classic. Best game of the day and a turnover. Bellinger with a steal. Neither team with a foul to give. Halfway home in our first overtime. Ryan, the taboo against Iriapen. Ryan open for a moment. Up and in, the bucket for Bristow. Tied at 74. Ten ties, 16 lead changes. This game has featured a little bit of everything tonight. For the right to go to the Sweet 16. Iriapen with 35. Ryan will feed the post. Tied at 76. Jalen Bristow.
How about the night Jalen Bristow has had and the way that she's able to get herself in a position deep late in this game. It's huge. She's shooting 100% from the floor. 3 of 3 with 8 boards. That's huge.
And the 7 points badly needed with Crooks on the bench after fouling out. Iriapen attacking at a new career high for 44 in white.
You felt that coming. Couldn't stop it, but you knew it was coming.
Can Iowa State somehow respond again? The seal for Ryan. The crossover by Ryan. And the foul. And who did they get with a personal? It'll be free throws. And it's Aguirre. And the sharpshooter, Emily Ryan. Claflin, Kansas, a senior. Incredible game she had in the 20-point comeback win against Maryland on Friday night. 14 dimes. This evening it has all been about points. And a bunch of them, 34 in fact.
Not only Ryan has a career high, and she doesn't even look like she's breaking a sweat.
Tied at 78. Under a minute to go in overtime. Iriapen was crushed and fell down hard. And for Natabu, that's her third. Free throws for the Cardinal to go back in front. And the moment of truth for Kiki Iriapen. Trying to put her team in position once again. Has been perfect at the line tonight. Nervous moments for all sides. Stanford by 2. And Maples comes back to life. Ryan gets it back. Plenty of time to shoot. Brown's wide open. That's better spotted. It is again. Iowa State with the lead. More drama than a junior high lunch table here on the farm.
Let's go. This game has all the emotions. If y'all are still up watching this on the East Coast, we appreciate you.
Stanford the response. Dimitri. The Cardinal had the Brooke Dimitri has come up with 2 of the biggest three-pointers she may ever connect on in her career tonight. None bigger than that one right there to give the Cardinal the 2-point advantage.
It was her 3 that brought this whole place back to life. Remember that one? And then now, every shot bigger than the next. Addie Brown, huge for the freshman. A great pass by Ryan to drive and dish, and for Brown to fill the lane. And then Dimitri, she's just a catch and shoot quick. It's great to see her have the night she's had. A huge shot for Dimitri with Brink fouling out of the game. The Cardinal trying to get a win here after being knocked out as a #1 seed from Ole Miss last year. Does the 2 seed have enough? 18.4 seconds, we'll find out.
Now the winner of this game advances to the Sweet 16. Cyclones have been there 6 times. The last time 2 years ago. Stanford, it feels like, under Tara Vanderveer, the Hall of Famer, has been there more times than you can count. All right, if you're Bill Finley, are you going for the win? Are you looking to tie and try to get this one to a second OT?
I'm okay with going for the win. Think about the way they've been shooting the 3-ball tonight. I'm thinking you give that ball to that young woman right there, Emily Ryan, number 11. Put it in her hands, let her finesse, let her create, and then let somebody else fill in behind her, maybe Addie Brown, to hit that 3.
Emily Ryan, 6 of 9 from behind the arc tonight. Iowa State as a team, 12 of 19 in terms of 3-point shooting for head coach Bill Finley. And they need one more to have a chance to keep this thing going.
You've got some deadly 3-point shooters in there. Remember, Bellinger has hit some. Addie Brown can. Of course, Emily Ryan has had the night. So you got 3 3-point shooters along with some solid post players in there. If you're Stanford, you want to contest. If you got a foul, foul. The worst that can happen, foul hard, and you put them on the line and make them earn it to tie this game.
Cyclones, top 10 in the country in 3-pointers made coming into this game. Quick look to Brown, throws it up. No! Dimitri to rebound. And Dimitri was fouled after securing possession. An outstanding free throw shooter, and clearly was hacked on the carom.
Good position by Brown. But great defense. Look, that's good defense. Brown split the defenders, but no one came and got any pieces. She just lost her balance there. And Brooke Dimitri tonight being a hero.
First free throws of the game, 82% on the season. The next one, the most important one, a chance to make it a 2-possession game. And she does. Iowa State with 2 timeouts remaining, and Bill Finley elects to use one here. It's not over yet, but advantage Cardinal after the miss by Brown, the rebound, and the free throws by Brooke Dimitri. And for Cameron Brink, her final game in Maples Pavilion. Oh, the emotions of this moment.
This has been an emotional moment for 40 minutes and then 5 more minutes. Well, you got to think about just the effort these young women have put out tonight. I mean, we've watched some amazing games, you and I together. I think this one might just have risen to the top here.
They can top them all,
Yeah.
especially in postseason play. We've called a number of massive upsets. In Iowa State, well, this team from Ames, they're not going anywhere next year either with all of these talented freshmen.
Think about that.
Do they need the 3, or do you go for the quick bucket?
No, you need a 3 right now. A quick shot 3. I'm trying to get a screen open for Bellinger or Ryan or Brown.
Tabu has it. Ryan gets it. Was clipped. No whistle. Inside and out of bounds. Cyclones need a turnover or a quick foul to have a shot. And a timeout called. Tara Vanderveer. 6.3 seconds remaining. Some last-minute instructions, and at this point, just trying to get the basketball inbounds, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, anything goes. You want the ball in the hands of your best foul shooters right now. Another possible strategy, you throw that ball all the way over here in the backcourt, try to burn off whatever time you can. I mean, the worst thing that could happen to you is Iowa State gets a steal, a three, and they'll be right back into this game. So for Stanford, it's about securing the pass. Eye contact, go meet the ball, and hold on to it.
Hold on for dear life. Now, nobody said it was going to be easy for the 2 seed Stanford. One more victory means 30 on the slate this season. They'll advance it after the timeout. And Ariapan was fouled. Well, Brooke, you mentioned it a few moments ago. Audie Crooks put up 40 points Friday night in the comeback against Maryland. Guess who has a chance for the 40-piece this evening? Another face of college basketball next season. And Kiki Ariapan, 39 on the board and 2 free throws to come. What a game. What a moment for Stanford. 40 for Kiki Ariapan, the junior from LA.
Well, Audie Crooks has made herself a household name with just one night of basketball, but Kiki Ariapan says, I see your 40-piece. Let me add one to go.
41 points on 30 shots, a new career high. And the largest lead of this game comes at the end of overtime, a 6-point advantage for the Cardinal. As we take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance, no surprise.
Yeah, she's been doing this all night, stepping out, hitting shots, and then she started to get more aggressive as the game went on. Her defense was clutch. These types of bang-bang plays that create physicality and presence in the game, then you got the complement with a touch. My favorite part about Ariapan's game tonight, Roy, has been her ability to get after the offensive rebound, to keep plays alive. Like, she's been diving on the floor, leading to second shots. And you see the night she's had a career high for Miss Kiki. So the answer is clear. Kiki, do you love me? Sounds like basketball game loves her tonight. 41 points for Miss Ariapan.
Now the Cyclones down to needing several miracles just to have a chance, and the Brink family taking it all in. Daughter fouled out in the 4th quarter, but she has been there and engaged with this team after fouling out and providing support for her teammates. A steal off the inbounds, and that will do it. Stanford survives in overtime. The Cardinal back to the Sweet 16.
Oh, what a fight to the end. I mean, you hate to see one team losing this game because this is one of the most epic games we've witnessed in person. The performance from the young guns of Iowa State, Audie Crooks and Tara Vanderveer having a moment. You know, we certainly cannot believe the amount of highlights, high-level plays. Just incredible game here at Maple. So Stanford, the #1 seed last year, they don't survive, come in here as the 2, about to head into the ACC next year. A lot of changes, but Tara Vanderveer finishes with the win here this year at Maple Pavilion.
Final game for the Cardinal as members of the Pac-12 in this arena. And Cameron Brink will advance to the Sweet 16. She's already won a national championship in her career. Wasn't the night she planned for, but she'll take it as the Cardinal find a way.